What's going on, everybody? It's yours truly, Coach Mike Dub, and I'm here with another edition of Lockdown Defense Sports Studio. And we are here breaking down all of the things that you want to hear about training camp. We are in full swing, just finishing up week 2, going into, I believe, week 3 of training camp. All teams have reported, of course. We're in full gear. Competition is heating up. Position battles are heating up. We're getting a good look at our rookies and some of our new guys that are in camp for the first time in that burgundy and gold. We've gotten some preseason games coming up. Of course, the Hall of Fame game is already wrapped up, so all the rest of the teams are getting ready for their week 1, and we've even got some joint practices. So it's an exciting time to be an NFL fan. It's an exciting time to be a Commander fan. We're here to break down all these different things and really get some things going, get some good talks going. We're interested in hearing from you in the comments what you all think. What are you excited about camp? What questions do you guys that have either have been answered already, or what questions are you looking to get answered as camp continues to progress along? And we're going to go ahead, we're going to get right into it, right? So, first and foremost, what are we excited about as we first reported to camp in Ashburn? For us, of course, year 2 of the Dan Quinn era. Year 1 was a complete success. One of the best years we've had in a long time. The chemistry of the team, the continuity of the team, offensively, defensively. So now there's things that we're looking to see, that Dan Quinn can build off of. Year 2 is always going to be a little bit of a struggle because teams have, you can't sneak up on anybody anymore. So that's the good thing. But we like what we saw from Dan Quinn coming into training camp, reestablishing that culture, reestablishing that winning mindset. We're looking for him to build onto that. Of course, the cornerstone of it all, Jaden Daniels. He's looked like he's added a lot of weight in the offseason, trying to prioritize his body to number one, be healthy and stay on the field, and also continue to be the versatile threat that he is. Of course, using his feet, using his arm. There were a lot of questions about his durability as he came into the league. He battles through some injuries last year, but you can clearly see that he's putting some weight on his frame. He's taking weight training to another level. He looks like a completely different guy, and he's looked good in camp so far. So that's something else that we're looking for to keep an eye on. How is he going to build on his year too? And finally, our new faces. We have a lot of new faces in the building this year, not only from our rookies, but also a lot of vets that have been around the league for quite some time. Some big name guys, some role players. How are they going to fit in? What are we looking for from them from camp? So a lot of questions that we're hoping to get answered when we came into camp. Some of them have already been addressed. Some of them we can already start to see. Of course, we're going to dive into those big name headlines that the elephants in the room, and we're also going to talk about some things that we're looking forward to with our preseason games coming up. All right. So, first and foremost, what are the latest headlines? Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. This all is stemming from his desire for a new deal. He's wanted a new deal for quite some time now. The Commanders want him in Washington. He wants to stay in Washington, but they're on two different sides. I'm not pressing panic just yet. These type of things happen all the time. Of course, you see Michael Parsons just requested a trade not too long ago as well. I think last year you saw Lamar Jackson request a trade. So I say that to say, just because teams request a trade doesn't mean that we've seen the last of them in their uniform. It happens all the time. It's a leverage move. It's one of those things where teams are saying, you know, let's go see what your value is. Go see what your value is. See if you're going to get what you're asking for from anywhere else. And the guys are saying, hey, I'm making it known right now. We can make this, as smooth of a process as you want it to be, but even though I want to stay here, I'm open to other opportunities as well. So I think this is just a leverage move to try to see which side budgets first, also to gauge his value elsewhere. Um, I'm probably about 85% sure that he'll be in a Commander uniform by week 1 to start the season. The only reason why I'm not 100% sure is because as a Commanders, you have a responsibility to listen to whatever offers come your way. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what team may blow you out the water with an offer that you can't refuse. So you might have to listen. So let's see what happens. I think that he will be in Washington week 1. He wants to be here. The team wants him here. The coaches want him here. Front office, fans, everybody loves Terry. Eventually, it's going to get old, and we're going to want to see, this whole thing end. He's made strides. He's shown up in good faith. He's a hold in now, not a holdout. So he's in the facility. He's around the guys. It's just, the fine details that we got to get past. That being said, in the absence of Terry, who has stepped up and helped build that chemistry on the offensive side of the ball? That's the question that we needed answered, even with Terry in the lineup. But now that he hasn't been there for camp, of course you have to ask yourself, well, who's going to be that next guy that steps up and be a target for Jaden Daniels, or will it be the running game that starts to get established? And there have been some standouts in camp, some guys that have done well. We've seen a resurgence from Zach Ertz, who has been a pretty big target for Jaden Daniels early on. We've also seen some young receivers, notably Jalen Lane, which we're going to talk about a little bit more as we're looking forward to him performing in that first game. He stepped up and made some big plays, but overall, we're looking for that chemistry. We're looking for that continuity that we haven't seen. We haven't really seen consistency from the offense so far in camp. Debo, of course, the big name guy on offense, the big addition that we added. He's had some big plays. He also had a jam finger not too long ago in camp that he didn't want to get out there. It actually got out there by happenstance, but the main question with Debo is always going to be, can he stay healthy? So, can he be consistent? Can that chemistry get going? And part of the reason why we haven't seen that yet in camp is because the defense has been so dominating. So that's the thing about training camp is you're always balancing between, when you have one side that's doing much better than the others, is it a matter of the defense being really good, or is it a matter of the offense being really bad? That's the question that we're trying to answer right now. And the offense hasn't been terrible, but they haven't been as good as the defense. The defense has really been holding it down so far in camp. And I'm looking forward to some preseason games to see if it's legitimate or if this is an in-house problem that we're going to have to fix on one side of the ball. So love how the defense has been flying around. Love the depth that we've had at defense. It's a good mixture of veterans and rookies. But we're looking forward to going to get some other competition just to get a better gauge of how good it is. That leads us into our position battle. So I mentioned we have a good mix of rookies and vets with our new names and new faces here in the building. Uh, Two of our position battles that we're really focusing on are our top two draft picks. First and foremost, our first rounder, Josh Connolly at right tackle, battling Andrew Wiley. Now, here's the thing with position battles and first round picks, it's kind of a formality for the most part because your first round pick is going to get on the field at some point in time. It might not be immediately, it might not be, in the first few weeks, but there's going to come a time where the first round pick is going to see the field because he's just that. He's a first round pick, he's an investment. Andrew Wiley, in order to win this position battle, he's going to have to play so well that they cannot keep him off the field. And not saying that can't happen, but the chances are, if it's even, Josh Connolly is going to have it. And right now, I think Josh Connolly has a little bit of the edge. We've actually seen them try him out in different places on the line. We knew that coming into the season, he was versatile. But obviously, we have our left tackle in Laramie Tunsil. They've tried him out at left guard a little bit just to see what the possibilities are, because ultimately you want to play your best five linemen. Um, so, the fact that he's versatile works out in his behalf, but I do think that he will end up winning that right tackle battle overall. Andrew Wiley is, and once again, it's not because Andrew Wiley may have done anything to lose the job, but this is a business. It's the NFL. You're going to give your first round picks an opportunity to win it. So I'm going to be able to I'm going to be looking forward to keeping an eye on Josh Connolly to see how well he does, to see if he, clearly wins that battle, or if it's just going to be a matter of playing the guy that is going to be your future. And on the defensive side, Trey Amos, another early pick for us, and Jonathan Jones, who's a vet that's been around for quite some time. So you start to see the same same dynamic on the defensive side of the ball. A little different. Trey Amos isn't a first round pick, but he is a guy that's an early pick, and you're going to want to see him on the field. You're going to want to see him competing, and you're going to want to see him, earn that earn that draft pick. So he's been doing well in camp. He's been holding it down. We're looking to see who's going to be that third corner on the opposite side of Sandstro and Lattimore. So I love it. I love position battles going into camp. I think that elevates everybody's game. I think it takes that competition to the next level. And I'm excited to see both of these guys compete. And finally, I mentioned two rookies. And now we're going to mention the rest of the rookies that we're looking forward to seeing in our preseason game against the Patriots. Another young team coming off of their year two of a start quarterback of a new quarterback regime in Drake May. Obviously, we won't see a lot of him, if any, during the preseason game. But what we will see is a lot of rookies for us. That's what we're looking for. Uh, our rookie running back that was taken in the later rounds. He's been doing pretty well in camp, and he's a guy that's interesting because he didn't play his senior year in college due to some unforeseen circumstances. So he's been out of football for a little bit over a year, or a little bit less than a year, I should say. So for a running back, that's good. That's less mileage on him. But you're going to want to see how well he comes in and competes. Is he going to be rusty? Is he going to be a guy that we can use immediately out of the gate? And then Jalen Lane, I mentioned him before. He's a standout guy so far in camp. I'm interested to see how he does against other competition, and also how much he plays. Just because if the season started today, I think that he would be one of our starters. He might be our slot receiver. He might be a guy that we use, very uh, very special in our offense, I'll say. He has elite speed. He's made some great plays. He's been a special guy for us in camp. So if he plays, very well, we might not see a lot of him in preseason because we try to, preserve him. But I am looking forward to seeing him against some other teams. And Kane Madrano, who I think is going to be a key depth player and maybe somebody who can contribute in certain packages. Looking forward to seeing him fly around and contribute against other teams as well. Rookies is it's your time to shine in the preseason games, especially the earlier preseason games where you're going to get a chance to play more than, the starters. Most starters don't play at all. I know for us, we need to stay healthy. So I don't want to see any of our starters play. I want to see Debo in a bubble. I want to see everybody else in a bubble. We're not the youngest team as far as our vets. So I think we need all the energy and all the legs we can have for that latter end of the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing our rookies compete. Like I said, it should be a great game, another young franchise. And, second half of training camp is going to be very interesting. Who's going to make this roster? Who's going to win these position battles? Are we going to be put in a situation where we can build off of our great year last year? So let me know your thoughts. What are you looking forward to in training camp? What have you been happy to see? What have you had questions about? Tune into the preseason games this week. And as always, tune into the rest of our socials, and always lock into the Lockdown Defense Sports Studio.